Hi everybody, Emily here for Bramble Fox. I am sharing with you today a layout I created using some perspective from the monthly box, as well as some butterfly perspectives, and I will link everything in the description. So this layout was quite difficult for me, actually, to be honest, and I wanted to share with you the full true process on how I created it. I've been struggling a bit for the last 2 weeks with inspiration, and I've been having a bit of that scrapbooking block. So I wanted to show you the honest full process of how I came up with the layout, and I'm sure you'll see that, hey, what I see on my screen right now doesn't look like anything of the photo that I've seen on Instagram or the photo I've seen on the Bramble Fox page. And there's a reason for that. I started by creating this mixed media background, which, to be honest with you, I actually do love. I love this background, and I love the texture, and I love everything that I've done on it. My problem is that I struggled to use it, and I got a massive blockage on how to do my page with it, and it's taken me, I think, about a week and a half of going back and forth to this layout to complete it and to finish it. So here you can see I've fussy cut some little arrows from the Page Evans pink paisley paper, and I'm placing them on my layout. I'm gluing them, quite liking the placement, and then I decided I wanted to add even more texture. So after it's glued, I'm taking the layout away, and I am going to my sewing machine and I'm stitching it all down, which you will see. There you go. So that's been all stitched down. I've done the round, the white paper as well, and loving the texture that it's added. Now I'm going to some fussy cut flowers that I had fussy cut ages ago, and starting to play around with placement and trying to find something that I like. And I'm struggling, really struggling with placement and making it work. So I decided to call it a night and go away. And I think the evidence is in the black sleeve I'm wearing in that image, and in a few seconds you'll see the change of sleeves of what I'm wearing next. That indicate another day. There you go, the sleeves have changed, and I'm still trying to make it work. So I'm lowering the photo, going back and forth, and this process is lasting forever, and I don't like it. So I'm going back to the drawing board, and I'm trying with a different background, and I'm using some yellow. I thought maybe I can try and do a monochromatic layout, adding a little bit of white gesso, drying it off. I thought maybe going with something simpler, cutting some yellow strips of papers, playing it, and then I had placed this one back on its side, so I go back to it and think, oh, maybe if I orientate it in a different way, can I make it work that way around? And yeah, I'm fidgeting with it, to say the least. And then I went to a mixed media background I had done a couple of weeks ago, that I had played with and that I had then put aside. You know, sometimes just play around with a few technique, and it's just a white cardstock with some gesso on it, clear gesso, and then a few watercolor powders that I had placed. And I thought it's lighter, it's less overwhelming for me, and I decided to just commit and to glue things down. So there you go, and I'll let you observe the play and placement on this. I love the clear butterflies pack, and I thought that the purple butterfly, the pink butterflies as well, the yellow, were a perfect fit for this layout to add a little bit more foxiness, shall I say, and also to fit and add detail to my layout. It was the right colours, it was the right shape, and I thought it was a really lovely addition to add a bit of clustering around my layout. So what was really frustrating me with this layout is, or lately should I say, is the struggle I had with finding satisfaction in placement. And that's where you can see me going back and forth and moving things around and trying to find the right balance of colours. And it's things that I think I was taking for granted, of the easiness I would place things, and lately I've been really struggling to find a way to place things on my layout that satisfied me and that I enjoyed to look at. And I think it's really well represented with this video and in my process. And you can see how often I've changed and restarted and doubted myself really with this layout, and I think that was really important for me to be honest about the full process of how I created this layout. I decided that I wanted to have a frame effect on this layout, and maybe it was a way for me to have the impression, the feeling that my ideas were contained. It's maybe bringing back some order into a bit of a chaos really that was going on in my head at that point. And so I decided to layer this layout. So I trimmed a little bit of the layout around the edges and keeping all my mixed media centered, and I decided to mount it onto more pattern paper. So as you can see, I hesitated again between the pink and the yellow, and I decided the yellow worked better for my photograph, and it was bringing out what I wanted more out of my photograph. And as always, I don't like to waste too much paper, and I gutted the inside of my 12x12 paper so that I could use that pink on another layout, and I mounted it onto that little frame, so directly with the double sided sticky tape. I am now adding my journaling, so I'm tracing the lines for my text, and I'm tracing over them. It is something that I always do for my journaling. On this layout I decided to go back to my typewriter stamps because it's one of my favourite techniques, but also because I knew that with the frustration I was going through, it probably would be visible and felt also through my handwriting, which is something that I didn't really want to see happen, because I still love this photo, and yeah, I still wanted to try and keep this layout soft. So here we are. This is my completed finished layout for Bramble Fox. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave your comments and any question you may have. Thank you very much for watching and for following, and see you soon again. Bye.